In the far reaches of Aomori Prefecture, where the mountains sleep beneath heavy clouds and the wind sings in an old dialect, there is a village called Shirotaki that time has almost forgotten. Only a handful of families remain, all elders, their children having long moved to Tokyo or Sapporo. The village is known for its pristine waters, its ancient shrine, and the story of the Hitodama lantern. The legend says that once a year, during Obon, the festival when the dead return, the ghost of a lonely spirit roams the forest at the foot of Mount Nakusa. It carries a red lantern, looking for a loved one who never came home. If you see its light, you mustn't follow, or you'll become part of its sorrow. No one has seen the lantern in decades, or so they say. Yumi Tanaka, 76 years old, lived alone in her modest wooden home just on the edge of the woods. Her only son, Daisuke, had died in a fishing accident 20 years earlier. Her daughter-in-law had moved away and left behind their baby, Ren, who was now a withdrawn, pale teenager with shaggy hair and a constant set of earbuds in his ears. At 14, he had returned to Shirotaki to stay with his grandmother for the summer, while his mother dealt with a new divorce. He hated it. No Wi-Fi, no friends, no fun, he muttered. Yumi pretended not to hear. The first few days were quiet. Ren sulked while Yumi cooked rice and grilled fish with practiced movements. He stayed in his room most of the time, staring at his phone with no signal. But on the night of Obon, something changed. It started with a light, soft, red, and flickering, just beyond the tree line. Ren saw it from the window, assuming it was one of the other villagers doing something for the festival. Curious and bored, he put on his sandals and headed outside. Yumi didn't notice at first. She was kneeling before her family's Butsudan altar, lighting incense and whispering prayers to her husband and son. But when she glanced up and saw the open door, a chill ran down her spine. She hurried outside in her house slippers, scanning the darkness. The forest whispered to her, and in the distance she saw it, the red lantern, swinging gently from side to side, and Ren was following it. Yumi's breath caught. "Ren!" she shouted. "Come back!" But the boy didn't turn around. It was as if he couldn't hear her. She took off into the trees without thinking, branches scraping her arms and the damp earth soaking into her socks. "Ren!" she called again. Still, nothing. The lantern bobbed ahead, never speeding, never slowing. Ren was walking straight into the woods. She remembered the stories, how the lantern wasn't carried by a man at all, but by Aka Kurayami, the red darkness spirit, a yokai born from grief so deep it had torn the veil between life and death. It was said to lure children with familiar voices and lead them to where the dead sleep. Yumi's heart pounded, but she didn't stop. Her legs ached and her vision blurred, but she pressed forward, whispering one name over and over like a spell. Ren. 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 Suddenly the light disappeared. The forest swallowed everything. She stumbled, fell, and lay in the damp moss, gasping for breath. She was ready to scream when she heard a soft sobbing. It wasn't Ren. It was deeper, older. Yumi rose to her knees and turned toward the sound. There, sitting by a tree with the extinguished lantern in its lap, was a figure. Not a man, not a woman. Something in between. Its face was shrouded, as if obscured by a veil of rain. "I can't find them," it whispered. "I walk and walk, but they never come." Yumi didn't run. Her heart was ice, but her soul was fire. "Who are you looking for?" The spirit raised its head slightly. Its eyes glowed red like dying embers. "My child," it said. Yumi's heart ached. "So am I." The spirit looked at her. "You are warm," it said. "So warm. Stay with me." A its form unraveling like silk in water. Yumi knelt beside the lantern. There was Ren, lying unconscious, breathing. She held him tightly and wept. Back in the village, Ren woke up the next morning changed. He didn't remember much, only that his grandmother had found him and carried him home. He started asking her questions about the shrine, about his father, about the festivals. He helped her sweep the porch and fetch water from the well. And on the last night of summer, just before he returned to the city, I think I saw Dad in a dream.